Okay. Hi, student. Can you see the screen? Hello. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So today we will go to the lesson 2. Okay. And I hope that you already installed the IDE for Java already. And then in this lesson, we can try some very simple Java program for the first time, okay? And this lesson, we talk about the basic syntax of the Java. Okay? Very basic. We still don't talk about the object-oriented in these lessons, okay? In this lesson, we will talk about how you can write your first program in Java, how you can name something in Java, for example, and we call it the identifier. We talk about the data type in Java, and we talk about the triple thing, the variable, type, and value. Okay, what is what exactly the relation between them? Okay, how you can use a variable, the range of variable, for example, and the type conversion. We talk a little about the basic operator in Java, the control statement in Java, and a little about the arrays. Okay, and because this is very short and simple lessons about the syntax, so I hope that you can have more reference by using other reference. For example, you can learn by yourself from the internet. Okay, and we will pass to the 8th part of this lesson. Okay, and for example, here I provide to you an e-learning course, e-learning lecture, which is free, and you can assign to this course freely. Okay, this is a course of the Udacity named Java Programming Basic. Okay, Java Programming Basic. Okay, you can follow this course and you will find out very easy to understand. Okay, these 3 steps you can follow to assign to this course. And in the course, maybe you can learn from 5 lessons about. Excuse me, someone, can you mute the microphone? Okay, thank you. Okay, you can find out some very simple lessons about variable, data type, control flow, function, loop. Okay, and something about the IntelliJ and how you debug the IntelliJ. Okay, so this is just the e-learning lecture you can follow from the internet. Okay, and each lesson you will see the video, the lesson in the video, and you can try the suit it if you cannot follow the speech. Okay, and now we talk about how you can program a first Java program. Okay, so the program is, of course, is a set of comments. So how we can write down a first comment, comment or statement. Okay, it's all how you can write out one statement in Java. Okay, maybe this is the first comment you can see. System print line and the parenthesis, and it's end by the semicolon. Okay, very important. Each Java command is ended by the semicolon. Okay, and this is a command to print to the screen. Okay, the output here now is the default is your screen, and this command is to print to the screen a new single line, because these have the LN at the end of print. That means print line. So you print to the screen a new single line. And if you want to print out some message, for example, you can put it between the double quote or the quotation here. Okay, you put your message between the double quote here. For example, you want to print out hello world, so you put hello world between the quotation mark. Okay, and you can try this with your IDEA, and you will see what happened. Okay. There are some notes for Java common. Firstly, you have to note that in Java is a case-sensitive language. That means it makes the difference between the lowercase and uppercase. Okay, uppercase letter. Secondly, I talked already about the quotation mark or the double quote mark here. You use this to construct a string that will be used exactly and unchanged. The statement, every statement ends with the semicolon. So it makes you easier to write a comment in multiple comment in one line, or you can write down one comment in multiple line. Okay, for example, you can write down here there are 3 statements, and you write it down in one line. Okay, and you use a semicolon to separate the comment. And by the way, you can write one comment in multiple line. For example, this comment is too long, so you write it in 2 line, for example. And because the compiler understands that it separates the comment by the semicolon, so no problem. You can write both this way. Okay, in both way. Okay. And another thing you will have to use frequently in your program is the annotation or the comment. The comment. Okay, là gì? Chú thích. Đúng không? And the JVM we ignore the comment. The compiler we ignore the comment when they compile the program. So the comment you use in your code is to explain to the reader, for example, to other developer, to understand what do you do here and what do you want here, for example. So you should use the comment frequently in your program. Okay, it will make your program clear, easy to read. Okay, and when you exchange your program with other person, they can understand what you do here. Okay, because mostly the program is 100 of command line, so it's hard to follow if you don't have the command, for example. And we have 3 kind of annotation in Java. Firstly, if you just have the command in one line, you use 2 slots like this, and then every character after the the double slash here will be ignored by the JVM. Okay. The second kind of annotation you can do, if your comment is too long, you have to write it down in 2 or 3 lines. So you use the slash with the asterisk symbol. Okay, you put the long, very long in multiple like comment in. Oh, it gives me. There's someone. Nguyễn Hiếu Thanh, can you turn off your camera? Okay, thank you. So everyone can see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we come back. Okay, if you have a very long comment, you have to write it in multiple lines. You will use this kind of comment. Okay, and the third kind you can use if you want to build Java document for your project. For example, you can use this symbol to open and to close your comment. Okay, so here you use this symbol to open, and here you use this symbol to close the second kind. Okay, and this for the third kind. Okay, you use this symbol to comment, and when you use the tool in Java to build a Java document, they will extract to you only the comment between this kind of comment to build the Java document. And Java document is one kind of managing every comment to describe the class, for example, to describe the methods, for example, in your program, in your project. So it's useful when you want to build a big project and you need Java document for this project. Okay, so you can see in the example, if you have a long code, a long program, and you don't have any comment, it can be difficult to understand. But if you insert your comment, it will make your code clear. Okay, for example, like this. Okay, you will know exactly each comment, what does they do, for example, and what do you want here. And here is your first program. Okay, you use every comment, you use the combination of comments in your program, and you will type down this program in a file. Okay, you will create a file with the name hello world.java. Okay, and when you create this file, you have to define in your your file a hello world class. This is obligation. Okay, that said that you have to pack in one class of the same name. Okay, so you use this file to pack a class of the same name, of the same with the name of the file. Okay? And then in this class, you can include your comment, and every application will be executed with the starting point is the function main or the method main. Okay. So in this the starting point for your program, and the JVM after compile your program is when try to go to this starting point and execute every comment inside this function or this method. Okay, And for example, for simply, we just put in here only one comment, okay? And this comment, you already seen it. This, you want to print to the screen, hello world, okay? And after you type down every statement like this in a file name hello world.java, you will now compile it and run it. Okay. And you know, this is only for common. Okay. And when you want to compile it, you have to pass two steps. Okay. You already know in your first lesson. Firstly, you have to compile your file into the bytecode. Okay. And then you run your bytecode by this command. Okay. And this, you run it. Okay. And the result we print to you in the screen, the string you want. Okay. So I think after installing the IDA, you can try this this first program. Okay. You create this file and you type all the command here and you follow the step like this and you see the screen. Okay. And this when you use the terminal when you running the Java, but now when you already install the IDE, for example, you already install Eclipse or NetBeans or IntelliJ, you can see in the in your IDE there's some button, for example, to build the project, okay, and to run the project. Okay, so you can follow these two steps to run your program. Okay, is this okay for you for the first program?
Yes.
Okay, so now we go to the second part of the lesson, and a little important for you is how you can name something in your program, and we use the terms identifier, định danh. What does it mean, định danh? How do you understand định danh? Nghĩa là gì? Danh là gì? Là một cái tên. Cách mà chúng ta định nghĩa các cái tên được dùng trong chương trình là gì nhé. And in your program you can have many kind of name. For example, you have to name a variable, a constant, a method, object, class, and even file. Okay, so this all we call the identifier. Okay. And the identifier is need to be unique in your program. You use one name to point to one thing. You cannot use the same name to point to two different things. Okay. So we go to the next lesson to understand what is a variable, what is a method, for example, object and class in Java. But firstly, you have to know how you can name something. Okay. In your program. Okay. So there are some regulation for you to make a valid identifier in Java. Firstly, it will include a character that can be letter, number, the dollar signal, or the underscore signal only. Okay, so this is the regulation. You cannot. You have to respect this when you want to name something. Okay, and the rule said that you cannot start a name with a digit, or you cannot use keyword as a identifier. Okay, and you cannot contain the space in the name. Okay, and because Java is case sensitive, so if you use these four identifier, you will have 4 different things. Okay, this is case sensitive. So let talk to me why here we have 4 correct identifier, and here we have 4 invalid or wrong identifier. Okay, this one is okay, but why? In this illustration, we have 4 incorrect identifier. Who can explain to me? Yes.
The first one is wrong because they didn't use an underlined stripe.
Mm-hmm. What did they use here?
They use
The
dấu trừ.
Okay, the minus sign, for example. Okay, this incorrect. Okay, you have to distinguish between these 2 signs. Okay, not see it similarly. No. Okay, and in the second example, why is not correct?
They use the first letter is a number.
Yes, the first letter you cannot start with a digit. Okay, and here is use 2, number 2. No, so it's incorrect. Okay, and the third one?
The third one, they use the first letter an undercase.
Undercase? No, lowercase?
Lowercase.
No. Here you see they say nothing. They don't say anything about an uppercase or lowercase, because you don't know. Okay, I talk to you because this some kinds of the keyword. Okay, Java will reserve some word to use as the keyword in their program. Okay, so this match the keywords. The number 3 match the keyword. Okay, the number 2 start with a digit. Okay, and later you will have the list of every keyword in Java. Okay, and for the number 10, sorry, for the number 4.
4 is also start with a digit.
Yes, correctly. So it cannot allow. Okay, in Java, you cannot have this kind of name. Okay, and for other combination between letter, number, dollar, and underscore, you can create the correct identifier. Okay, and there are some convention. Yes.
Can we
Welcome.
use underline in the first name?
Yes, you can use. You can.
Mean,
For example, I write down something like this.
Yes.
Okay, you can, but wait for a minute, and you can see the name convention. What do you understand convention? Nghĩa là chúng ta quy ước với nhau, đúng không? We have some convention, and in this convention they say something about how you use the underscore at the beginning. Okay, firstly, your convention is every name should be reminiscent. What does it mean, reminiscent? It have to remind to something. Okay, tức là tên là phải để gợi nhớ đến cái mà nó biểu diễn. Okay, you see the example. For example, you want to talk about the price of a book. Okay, so you should name the price of a book as book price rather than BP. Okay, in your program and you see BP. Okay, at this time you understand that this book price book, but later 2 or 3 days later when you rewrite your program, you see BP and you don't understand what does it mean. So please remember, you have to make your name to remind you, to help you to remind about this thing. Secondly, you should start with the letter. Okay, this just the convention. So you something sometimes you can use, but that the convention here that you should, but it's not required, or you have you don't have to. It's different from you must. Okay, thế là đây chỉ là convention thôi, khuyên bạn nên làm thôi chứ không bắt bạn, không có sự ràng buộc, không bắt buộc. Bạn hoàn toàn có thể dùng trái với cái convention này, nhưng mà mình đã có convention thì mình dùng thì để làm sao khi mà nó như là một cái cộng đồng cùng dùng ấy, thì mọi người có một cái quy tắc chung thì cái việc viết code nó sẽ rõ ràng hơn và dễ hiểu hơn nhé. So in this convention, they said that the name should start with the letter, so you can use underscore, okay, as the first letter, or you can use number at the first letter. But in this convention, they say that you should start with the letter, okay. And there are some other convention for naming things in Java. In Java, we have package, we have class, for example. So there are some convention. Firstly, to name a package, you should use all lowercase letter like this. And for class, for example, you should capitalize the first letter of each word, so it makes it easy to read, for example. But for the method, you should start with a lowercase letter, but you capitalize the next word. Okay, it's different from for class, for example, here. Okay, you see your first letter you lowercase. Okay, and for the constant, for example, you use all capitalized letter. This is just the convention, but you should follow it to make your program clear and to make it easy to other pupil to read your code. Okay. Okay. And now we talk about the keyword. The keyword that means the program will use some name to define some function by its own. So you cannot use this keyword as your identifier or as your name in your program. Okay, not allowed to use this keyword as the identifier. Okay, for example, there are some keyword or some literal none, true, false. You cannot use these three literal as a name. Okay, or there are a list of keywords in Java. You don't have to use this. And you cannot use this. Okay, or there are some other revert word, reserve word. For example, you see here go to is here, so you cannot use go to make an identifier. Okay, so you have to remember this. Okay. And now we go to the very important part in this lesson. I think this we will talk about the variable. Okay, I know that some of you already program, but please listen carefully to this part, because around the variable you will have many things to understand. Okay, so what is variable? In Vietnamese, we call it biến. So what does it mean, biến? For someone who already programmed, can you tell me how you understand about variable?
It can change.
Yes, correctly. Biến, that means not go away. This vary, okay, it can change. Tức là gì? Biến đổi, đúng không? Đấy. Hay là biến động. Đấy. Nghĩa là biến hiểu theo nghĩa là như vậy. So how you understand about the variable concept? In programming, I mean in programming. Okay. Maybe some of you already programming and you use variable frequently. Okay, but how you understand about variable? Firstly, for your imagination, I use the illustration a box. For example, you can imagine a variable is like a box in the memory. Okay. What does it mean in the memory? I just write down in my program. Why you say this in the memory? Your program, you use your program to interact with the computer. Okay. Okay. You want to ask the computer to do something, and you have to write down in common. Okay. And in common, of course, when you want to ask the computer to do something, you have to ask it do something. For example, you ask the computer to make an additional operator. For example, you make the additional between these two values. Okay, so the computer have to work with value. Okay, or we can call it the data. Yeah, and before adding these two values, it have to store the value. And where they store the value? In the computer. Can you imagine?
Lưu trữ.
Thế máy tính nó sẽ lưu trữ các cái dữ liệu này ở đâu?
Ở trong bộ nhớ.
Yes. It will use the memory to store the value. And the program, after compile your program into the machine code, this the way a program is the way of the machine to take the value in the memory and doing something with this value. Okay, it will take the value. It will take the value from the memory, and it will make the additional between these two values. Okay, so you can imagine your program is a sequence of interaction between the memory and your common. Okay. Thế là mình cứ tưởng tượng chương trình của mình sẽ làm sao ra lệnh cho máy tính làm việc, và khi mà làm các cái thao tác kiểu gì nó cũng sẽ phải dính đến việc là thao tác với dữ liệu, và thao tác với dữ liệu thì dữ liệu sẽ được cất chứa ở đâu, và nó sẽ là cất chứa trong bộ nhớ. Vậy thì you have to imagine that every comment in your program will be correspond with the action in the memory. They will take something from this memory, this reason, and it will take the second value in this reason, and it will make the additional. For example, we store here 2 and we store here 3. Okay, so I will explain to you in this way. In every lesson, I will explain the correspondence between your command line and how they act in the memory. So it will have you to clearly understand each statement. Okay. So firstly, we talk about the variable. Okay, so variable is just like a box in the memory where you can use to store a certain quantity. Okay. And you use when you have to work with some data, you will use a box in the memory to store this data. Okay, to store. Okay, it's just a box in the memory to store the data, for example. And to do it, you have to name this box. Okay, phải đặt tên cho cái ô nhớ đấy, đúng không? You have to name this box, and this called the variable name. So each variable will have the name. Okay, and the name cannot change. When you name a box, it will be fixed during your program. Okay, and each box can contain the value, of course. You have to use this box to store the data, so you will have the value. Okay, value here in the box. Okay, for example, in this illustration, you see that I have a memory box. I have a variable name passenger, and I store the value 7 into this box. Okay. And how you imagine this box in the memory? Okay. For the first concept, you understand about variable. Okay, there's a box in the memory to store a data. Okay, and the name is not changed, but you can change the value in the box. So we call it variable. Okay, but you can imagine what is this box in the memory. You know about the memory in the computer. What is this? And what is form? What is form? Nó hình thành như thế nào? Cái memory thì trong bộ nhớ các bạn tưởng tượng nó là gồm những cái gì?
Gồm những ô nhớ liên tiếp.
Yes, the memory in the computer is the cell of memory, and each cell we call the bit. Okay, and each bit can have the value of. What is the value for bit? Bit thì có giá trị bao nhiêu?
0 and 1.
Yeah, 0 and 1 only. Okay, so the memory is a sequence of bit in the memory, and when you store value, for example, you store value of 7 into this box. What will happen? Firstly, you have to know what we call the size of the box. Okay, you have to know the size of the box. For example, I use passenger to store the value of number of passenger in a bus, for example, and I will use 8-bit, for example, to store this value. Okay, and then the system will fix to you 8-bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for example, like this. it will store to you this 8-bit to store passenger. And if the number is 7, it will fill in here the value for bit. 7, that means this is 1, 1, 1. Is this correct? Yeah, and the other is 0. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, correct. So when you change the value of this variable, the bit will change. Okay, so this is very easy to you to change the value of the variable. Just the change of bit. Okay, it will change until it match the value of the variable. Okay. So you can be ask me what is the size of the box. Okay, how we decide the size of the box? We call it the data type or the variable type. Okay, we call it the data type or the variable type. Okay. In this box, you can contain numeric value. You can contain character value, text value, or even object value. Okay. In a box, for example, you see here the first box, name code. It contains the letter A. The second box, name count, it contains the value 5. And this box message, it contains a string, a sequence of letter. Okay, so you can use different box to store different kind of value, and it is called data type or variable type. Okay, so from this slide only, you have to remember 3 things about the variable. Firstly, each variable will have name. Okay. Secondly, the size of the box, name of the box, size of the box, okay, and value in the box, okay, or the value of the box. But these 3 very important things about variable. Okay, bạn nhớ không? Tóm lại là mình nói về một biến thì mình phải nói đến 3 cái thành phần nhá. Khi tôi nói đến một biến, thứ nhất là gì? Tên của cái biến đấy là gì nhá. Và tên này là cố định fixed. Ok. Thứ hai là cái ô đấy, cái box đấy có kích thước như thế nào nhá. Thì cái này chính là gì? Kiểu của cái biến đấy, data type or variable type. Và cái thứ ba là trong cái ô đấy các cái bit này đang là 0 hay là 1 thì tương ứng với giá trị của cái ô đấy là bao nhiêu nhé. Đây sẽ là bộ 3 của cái biến. Khi mà các bạn nói về biến, các bạn phải giải thích cho tôi là gồm có 3 cái thông tin như thế này. Okay. So now when you understand about the variable, you can use these boxes to store everything in your program. Okay. Is this clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. And okay, here we have a remark also. The name of the box is fixed. Okay. And the type of the box is fixed also. When you declare a variable, you have to show to the computer that what is the size of the box, and it's fixed also. Okay, you just can change the value of the box, but for this no, and this no, you cannot change. Okay, lưu ý là gì? Với một biến khi mà đã dùng thì chúng ta không được thay đổi tên, không được thay đổi kích thước của cái ô đấy, cái box đấy, chỉ có thể thay đổi giá trị bên trong nó mà thôi. Okay, and now you will know how you can use a variable. Firstly, before using any variable, you have to declare this variable. Trước khi dùng thì phải khai báo. Okay. This khai báo biến. Okay. So you know that I want to store this data, okay, in the memory. I will create a box, okay, and I will name it like a passenger, okay, and I will use 8-bit to store the value, okay. This is everything you have to do to declare a variable, okay. Firstly, you provide a name and you assign it to a data type. Okay, that means this box will use to store number, character, text, for example. Okay, so for every single variable, you have to initialize before use. Okay, that means after declare the variable, you will assign the value to this variable, and the first time you assign it called initialize. Đúng không? Cái lần mà mình gán cái giá trị đầu tiên thì gọi là khởi tạo nhé. Các bạn làm quen với hai cái thuật ngữ là khai báo và khởi tạo. Declare and initialize. Okay. And then after that, after creating the box, you can use the box, you can change the value. Here you assign the first value. Okay, and we call it initialize. And after that, you can change the value. Okay, and how you will declare and you assign the value in Java. This is two. There are two common you use to declare a variable and to assign the value to this variable. Okay, for example, you want to store the number of passenger in a bus, so you will have to use a box name passenger in the memory. So you have to declare it, and I want to use this to store the number of a person, a pupil. So this is an integer, tức là một số nguyên, đúng không? So it is an integer. So I will declare this variable of the type ent. Okay, and you will write out this ent space passenger and semicolon. Okay, so you create your first comment in the program. Okay, and I will explain the comment like this. The comment declare a variable named passenger, and it has integer type. Okay, and in Java we denote the integer as ent. Okay, so you see, very simple. You just have ent space passenger and semicolon. But this comment, after having this comment, what will happen in the memory? That means you ask the computer to use a box. Okay, and the name of the box is passenger. Okay, and it will use with the type of integer to store the number of persons. So it will use, for example, the integer in Java. It will have the size of 4 bytes. That means 32-bit. Okay, so this box will have 32-bit. Okay, this box will have the size of 32 bits. Okay, so just after the first statement, this will happen in the memory. Okay, the compiler will save to you a box of 32 bits to store the value of passenger. Okay, and what will happen with the second comment? In the second comment, what do they write down? Passenger, and they use the assignment operator. Okay, to assign some value to passenger, and they assign 0 to the passenger, and you end it with the semicolon also. Okay, and this comment will initialize the value of passenger variable to 0. Okay, so after this comment, the box which is already located to passenger will be filled in 0 value. Okay, so every 32 bit here is 0. Okay, so you will see the correspondence between a comment and what happened in the memory for every comment in your program. Okay, so here just after 2 comment, you declare a variable and you initialize the value, the first value for this variable. Okay, is this easy to you, the 2 first comment? So you have,
Yes.
okay, thank you. So you have to remember what is the comment for declaration, what is the comment for initialization. Okay, and even you can combine these declaration and initialization in one comment. Okay, by this way. You can see in this example, you have 2 parts. The first one is declaration and the second one is initialization. You can write both comment in the previous slide in one, for example. So for this one, what will you tell to the computer? You want to what you want in this comment?
And the computer use a box to store a variable named price.
Yes. Firstly, you want to declare a variable name. What is this variable name?
Price.
Price, yes. And the type?
Integer.
Integer, okay. And you assign the value 0, okay, to this variable, okay. So please remember, this is the way you read this comment. And I always ask students to read for me the comment. Nhớ, các bạn phải hiểu. Viết đơn giản như thế này thôi nhưng diễn giải ra nó thực hiện ngần này thứ việc ở trong máy tính đấy. Nhá, thực hiện ngần này cái thao tác ở trong máy tính thì phải hiểu chỗ nào là khai báo, chỗ nào là gán giá trị. Okay? And corresponding to this operator in the memory, it will allocate a box name price. Okay, and because this of the type ENT, so this box will have the size of 32 bit. Okay, and because the value is 0, so first time every bit in this box is 0. Okay, so you have always make the corresponding between the comment and what happened in the memory in your computer to understand clearly each statement. Okay? Is this okay for you? You understand this comment?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. And with the name, you maybe for someone who know about the address of the memory. Okay. The name price here is used to allocate the first the first bit of the box. Okay. Chính cái tên đúng không? Chính chương trình của chúng ta sẽ dùng cái tên này để trỏ đến cái địa chỉ ô nhớ đầu tiên của cái box này nhé. Đấy. Chính vì vậy mà trong chương trình của mình đặt tên, mục đích là dùng cái tên đấy để chỉ đến cái vị trí cái bit đầu tiên của cái box đấy. Và do cái kích thước của cái box bằng bao nhiêu mình biết rồi, nên là hoàn toàn là computer có thể xác định được cái box đấy nó như thế nào ở trong bộ nhớ nhá. Okay, so the same for the second and the third comment. So maybe another student, can you read for me what happened in this second comment? What will happen in this comment? Yeah.
The first is declare. Declare name speed.
No, what? Declare what?
Declare.
Và
variable name.
Variable.
Yeah. Firstly, declare variable. Okay, that means a box. And this variable name
is speed.
Speech. Yeah.
Data type integer.
Okay, of the data type int. Okay. And
theo là the value in initialization value is 100.
Okay. Yes, and assign the value 100. Okay, to this variable. Okay, this is how you explain in text. Tức là mình dùng văn đấy để mình diễn tả cái câu lệnh này thì là như thế này, đúng không? Thế nhưng mà đến lúc mà mình vẽ vào memory thì nó lại là hình ảnh này, thì lúc đấy bạn mới nói là gì? Đây là gì? Tạo ra một cái box, đúng không? Để biểu diễn cho cái biến có tên là speed, đúng chưa? Đấy. Và do nó được khai báo cái kiểu là int, vậy thì kích thước của cái box này sẽ là
32 bit.
Là 32 bit, đúng rồi. Và dùng cái toán tử gán này nên là tôi đã assign cái value này là 100. Thì lúc đấy là tùy theo chỗ nào là bit 1, bit 0 ở đây thì là nó thay đổi, đúng không? Nhá. Ok chưa? I hope that is clear for every student, because it's I think it's important also. It's not easy, but it is easy, but it's very important to you to understand what happened in the computer. Okay, so we have the same for the fourth thing, for the third comment. And please remember two things you have in this comment: declaration and initialization. Okay, and after declare a variable and initialize the value, you can use this. That means you can change the value. Use here, that means change the value or get the value of this box. Okay. For example, what are they doing here? What did they do here? Who can explain to me? You look it very simple, but what will happen in the memory? Who can explain to me? we have this, and here we have this. How they do? Passenger assigned to passenger plus 5. What does it mean?
The variable increase 5.
Yes, you know that it's increase 5. But what happened in the memory? Firstly, in this comment, you know this comment have two parts of the assignment operator. Firstly, is have to how to say, it have to check the value of the right hand side. Okay, and after having the value of the right hand side, it will assign it to the left hand side. Okay, so we will see. Firstly, you have to get the value of passenger. Okay, the current value. You get the current value of passenger. Okay, to do this, the program, the computer will go to the box of passenger to see what is the current value, and it will see that now the current value is 0. Okay, then it add it with 5. It increase it with 5. That means now the new value is 5. And what will happen later? Assign the value of the right hand side to the left hand side. That means it will change the value of this box, of the same box, okay, and assign it to 5. Okay, this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so because you understand that what will happen for each statement, you can explain it easily. Okay, we get the current value of the box. Okay, name passenger, and then we increase to 5, and then we assign again to the passenger box. Okay, mình hiểu tường tận thì mình sẽ biết là ở đây là gì. Đây có một phép gán đúng không? Nó sẽ lấy cái giá trị ở phía bên tay phải này. Đấy, bằng bao nhiêu thì nó sẽ gán cho cái biến ở phía bên tay trái này. Đấy, vậy thì đầu tiên phải tính cái phía bên tay phải này bằng bao nhiêu. Muốn tính phía bên tay phải bằng bao nhiêu, nhìn vào lệnh của nó, đầu tiên nó phải gì? Lấy giá trị hiện tại của cái passenger. Đấy, cộng thêm với 5 bằng bao nhiêu, gán trở lại cái gì? Passenger. Đấy. Nếu ở đây là x equal y plus 4, what will happen? You think? What will happen if you have this common? What will happen if we have this common? It's easy to answer.
The computer will take the value of the y variable.
Yeah.
And then plus 4. Then assign it to x.
Yes. So firstly, is have to locate where's the box y. Okay. It allocate, yes, the box y here. It get the current value in this box. Okay, take the value. For example, 5. Okay, plus with 4, that means 9, and it have to allocate the box of x. Okay, and put 9 into this box. Okay, step by step, they have to do like this. Okay? So you have to understand clearly this, and then after you can explain step by step how the computer do. Okay, it's easy, but you have to go slowly to understand the common. And then the same when you change the value of passenger, you minus is to 3, for example, and later you can print out the result. Okay, you see this common, and you maybe you see something different from the first common of the first line. We can see the different with the first common. We know
This common call the variable, not the value.
this common call
Call the variable.
the variable.
Yes.
I cannot hear you clearly. Yes.
Value of variable.
Because in the previous, thank you, in the previous slide, you see something like this. Hello world. Okay. Okay. And you see here you have used the quotation or the double quote symbol. Okay. So what happened if you write out this command like this? It will print to you hello world. Okay. This look like a string. Okay. But now you want to print out the current value of the box passenger. You put the passenger in between the parentheses, okay, and you don't use the double quote. Don't you? Okay, no double quote around the variable name. Okay, so you can print the current value of the variable. Okay? Remember, if you write out something like this, system out print line, open parenthesis, passenger, what will be print out?
Is passenger.
Yes, it will different from using double quote and without double quote. Remember, if you use double quote, it will print exactly this string. But if you don't use the double quote, it will use the value of the current value of the variable. Okay. So remember, for the first for someone who have never programmed. Okay. And another remark, if the passenger, this variable have not been declared yet, you will get the error. The program will say with you, you have not yet declared the variable, or we cannot define the variable. Okay. Nếu mà mình không khai báo nó mà mình dùng nó luôn thì bạn sẽ bị báo lỗi. Nha. Cứ thử vài lần đi thì sẽ biết, đúng không? Thì mình sẽ có kinh nghiệm. Okay. So for the variable, I repeat, you have to remember 3 things about the variable. Firstly, declare it with a name. Okay. And its size. Okay. And then initialize the value. Okay. Every variable needs to have a name, a size, and a value. Okay. The size here is the type. And the value, the name and the type is fixed, but the value can change. Okay. This is everything you have to remember. And this one also, you have to remember that you have to declare a variable before using. Okay. It is clear for you?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So we go to the next part. We talk about the scope of a variable. Là gì? Phạm vi sử dụng của biến. Okay. What is the scope of a variable? Okay. The variable in a program can have the scope in all program or just in a small part of the program. And we call the scope of a variable, phạm vi của một biến, is the program area, là cái vùng chương trình, đúng không? To which the variable can be referred or a variable or can be used. Okay, so this just where you can see saw seen, where you can see or you can use this variable. Okay, and after knowing the scope of variable, you can know how you can create, use, and release a variable. And normally we classify the scope of variable in two kinds: global variable and local variable. Okay, global variable is biến toàn cục, and local variable mean biến cục bộ. Okay, global variable, that means this variable have the scope in all program, trong toàn bộ chương trình. But for local variable is where the variable is declared. That means a variable declared in a method or block, it can access only in this method or block. Okay, tức là biến được khai báo ở trong một cái vùng nhớ, một cái phạm vi chương trình nhỏ nào, một cái block nào, hoặc là một cái method nào thì sẽ chỉ có thể được sử dụng trong cái block đó và cái method đó. Okay, maybe when you learn C, for example, you know in C you have a global variable and you have a local variable. Okay, but in Java almost we can consider that we just have a local variable. Okay, that means in Java we have class, we have a method, and everything is compact in the class. So the variable just used in the class. Okay. And you will see in the example what is the scope of a variable. Okay. Firstly, we talk about the block of code. Một cái khối code, đúng không? A block of code. It's a set of command between the two curly brace. Yeah. Đấy là cái gì? Tập hợp các cái câu lệnh mà nằm ở giữa hai cái dấu ngoặc nhọn này, curly brace. Okay, we define to you a block of code. Okay, for example, you have this, you have 1, 2, and 3 common, and you close it with a curly brace. And here you have a block of code. And when a variable is defined in this, for example, I have a variable 1, I define it in this block of code. So the scope of this variable is only inside this block of code only. Okay, that means where you define the scope of a variable is the block where it is declared. Okay. Phạm vi của một biến thì sẽ là nằm ở trong cái khối cái khối code mà nó được khai báo mà thôi nhá. Ngoài cái khối code đấy thì cái biến đấy không còn được nhìn thấy nữa, không còn được sử dụng nữa nhá. For example, you see in this example, you have the first common, second, third, fourth, five, six. Okay. What happened in the first common? Who can explain to me the first common? What did they do? For example, here I see true. I write down it's true. I have to explain to you, Boolean is a type of data. Okay, so what will happen after the first common?
It declare a variable. Name is like green.
Yes.
Of the boolean is just
of the
have
type.
it just have to and two number is true or false. It means 0 and 1.
Of the type Boolean. Okay, and here the value is is true. Okay, for example, here I write down the value with the value of true. Okay, this is the first common. Okay, and then in the second common you will have a conditional common. Okay, at this time maybe you don't know it, but you see the open curly bracket. Okay, an open curly bracket, and in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in the seven line, you see the close curly bracket. So you know there will be a block of code here from the line 7, from 2 to 7. Okay, you have a block. And what happened in this block? In the third line, what do you have? Okay, the third is a common. In the fourth line, what do you have? Double again. It's a data type. So what do you have here? In the fourth line, what do you have? You have again a declaration for variable name. Excuse me.
It declare variable name car speed.
Yes, car speed.
And it's assign variable to car speed to 100.
Yes, you know about you talk for me. You talk to me the name of the variable. You talk to me the value of the variable, but you forget the
type of double.
Yes, the type of the variable. Okay, so you have to tell to me 3 things about the variable. Okay, the variable car speed of the type double, and the name and the value is 100. No. Okay, so at this line you declare a variable. So the scope of car speed is where the scope of the car speed is from the scope, okay, of car speed is from which line to which line? The scope of the car speed
to line 5.
From where?
From line 2 to line 5.
No. Where you declare the car speed?
Car speed is declared at the line 3.
Here we count it
Line
4.
4.
Okay.
Line 4.
So the scope of the car speed is where it declared. Okay. From where it's declared. Sorry. So it will
it's
be
line
from 4. Yes. To
where the block end.
Yeah. To before the close bracket. Okay. At the line 7. Okay. So it will go from line 4 to the end of 6. Of line 6. Okay. So this one example, you can see the scope of a variable, and you see here they draw a rectangular in blue. Okay, and say that this car speed scope. Okay, from where you declare the variable until the end. Okay, and this the green rectangular draw to you the scope of the variable. It's like green. Okay, you have to remember it start where it start from the point we declare. Okay. Okay, and it end at the close bracket. Okay. And so what will happen if you you call the car speed here? That means after the close bracket, you call car speed. For example, here you have a comment. You want to get the current value of car speed, and you minus is to 10, and you assign again to the car speed. You will get the error because this outside the scope. So outside the scope, it cannot understand what is car speed. It cannot understand. So it will show you the error. We cannot resolve the simple car speed. It don't know. It does not know. What is car speed? Okay. So remember, when you write down your code, you have to pay attention to the scope of variable. You cannot set the variable outside of its scope. Okay. Được chưa? Các bạn nhớ hộ cô cái này nhé. Is this okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we will go to the data type for the next part, and maybe we will stop for 10 minutes now, and we will go to this part after the break. Okay, and we will come back at 2:04. Okay. Okay, because this is quite long, so I cannot finish in 6 minutes. Okay, so we'll take break now, and we come back at 2 and 4. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Let's take break. Okay. Okay, so we come back. Okay. Now we will talk about the data type. Okay, about the data type. And we talk firstly for the basic data type. Data type, that means we talk about the size of the box. Okay. You can see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. So we will talk about the data type. So the data is normally classified according to different criteria, and we call it the data type. Each data type will have the property and the instant type. Okay. And in Java, they divide the data type in two types. Okay, two types. The first one, we call it the primitive data type. The primitive data type là kiểu dữ liệu nguyên thủy. Okay. So do you understand why we call it primitive? Why it's called nguyên thủy? What does it mean? Nguyên thủy là sao?
Ban đầu.
Em nói to lên một chút được không?
Em nghĩ là đây là kiểu những điệu kiểu từ gốc ấy nó phát triển các cái kiểu khác nữa.
Yes, correctly. Okay. Yeah, chính xác. Okay, correctly. Nguyên thủy, that means you cannot divide smaller. You cannot divide more smaller. Okay, this is the basic, the very basic. And from it, you can build a bigger type, bigger kind. But you cannot divide it to smaller one. Okay, we will have integer. Okay, integer is to present the data type of số nguyên. Okay, you will have the data type real number to present the real number. You will have the kind of character, and you will have the type of boolean. That means something logic true or false. Okay, tức là chỉ có hai giá trị true or false. Okay, and the second kind we have a reference data type. That means it's not primitive. That means it's the combination of the smaller type to make a bigger one. Okay, you will have the array we will see in the last section of this lesson, and you will have object. Object is the main of the OOP. Okay, and we will go to object in the next lesson. Okay, so in this lesson we just talk about this primitive data type and the array. Okay, and is a little different from other programming language. That in the Java, the size of the primitive type is the same on all platforms. Okay. In C, for example, sometimes you have to check what is the size of an integer in my platform, for example. But in Java, the JVM is designed to use the same size for all primitive data type. Okay, and when you choose a data type, or you choose the box, the size box, the size of the box to store value, you have to balance between the need and the memory saving. Okay, don't choose a too big box just to store the small value. Okay, this some remark to you. Okay, and we will go to each data type. Okay, to see what is this and how many kind of this data type that Java support. Okay, firstly, you have to store an integer value. Okay, you have to store an integer value. So how many kind of Java data type for integer? Okay, firstly, for the integer, that means you can use to represent a number with sign. That means it can have a positive value or negative value. Okay, the value will have no decimal. Okay, không có phần thập phân. Yeah, and it's initialized with the value 0. Okay. For example, in the Java, they define 4 kind or 4 type of integer. Firstly, by. Secondly, short. Thirdly, ent, that is the short for integer, and long. And this exactly, you have to write out exactly this name when you define the variable. For example, when you define a variable name mark ent of the type ent, you write like this, ent. You don't write it integer, you write ent. Okay. And what is the difference between these two, these 4 kind? This the size of the box. For example, you declare a box to store the an integer value. Okay, and because my value is very small, I just need 1 byte to store this value. So I can choose the type, this box have the type byte. It only have 1 byte. Okay. Okay, 1 byte, that means 8 bit. Okay, and this kind of box is byte. Okay, the second one is for the kind short. The size of the box will be 2 byte. Okay, 2 bytes. That means 16 bit. Okay. And for ent, the size is 4 byte, and for long, the size 8 byte. Okay. So this is the difference between these 4 kind. And because the size of the box is different, so the range of value is different also. Okay, you just have 8 bits, so you just can store the value from minus 125 to minus 126 to 125, maybe. Okay, I'm not remember correctly. You can calculate this. Okay, and for 2 byte, the same. The range of the value is different. Okay, it's from minus 2 power 15 to 2 power 15 minus 1. Okay, and the same for 4 byte and 8 byte. So depend on the range of your value. You have to balance between the size, your value, and the amount of memory you want to use. So depends on the range of your value. You select the correct or the suitable kind. Okay. Yeah, you can choose by short, ent, or long for present integer value. Okay. Is this okay for you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So we go to the next kind of number we want to represent is the real number. Okay. Okay. You have to represent a real number with sign. That means it has the decimal place, and the value of the real number is initialized with 0.0. Okay, and we just have two kind of real number in Java. It's float and double. Okay, again, it's different by the size of the box. Okay, that means it will be different from the range of the value. For example, in this comment, what do you want to do in this comment? Who can explain to me? Đỗ Duy Khánh à?
Cô là declare variable fraction here double, data type double, và name là fraction,
Yes.
còn là integer value assign 99
Point
275.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, correctly. You see the statement of declaration and initialization. And you know the name of the variable, you know the type of the variable, and you know the value of the variable at the first time. Okay? So please remember, when you want to declare real number, you have two kind of data type. Okay, float and double. Okay, and for the character, okay, we talk about the character. Ký tự. Okay. A key. What is the character? It's different from a sequence of character. It's just letter by letter, for example. And in Java, they use only one kind to represent the character. Is called the char. Okay, and the size to this kind of box is 2 bytes. They use 16 bits to represent the character, and the range is like this in the hexa representation. Okay, and because in Java it support Unicode character, so it need to use 16 bit to store the value of a character. Okay, it's different from C. I remember that in C the character is just 1 byte, so it just can store the value of the ANSI character. Okay, you know about this ANSI versus with the Unicode, vice versa with the Unicode. Do you understand it? Do you know it? It's two different mapping table between the character and the number value. Is the number value numero value. Okay. Who know why do you need the mapping table? ANSI or Unicode? Có ai biết cái khái niệm về cái bảng mã ANSI và bảng mã Unicode không?
Có dùng rồi không ạ? Có dùng.
Ok. Em explain xem nào.
Hình như là nó cái bảng ANSI ấy nó có 250 mấy ký tự đấy.
Hay xin lỗi, lúc nãy cái 2 mũ 8 phải là 250 mấy đúng không? Rồi, nhưng mà can you explain why we need the mapping? Do you know why we need the mapping table? Có hiểu vì sao mình cần cái bảng này không?
Cái này em không ạ.
Okay. I use it. Yes.
Em nghĩ là máy tính nó sẽ làm việc với các con số chứ không phải là làm việc với các ký tự này.
Yes, correctly. Because we just have the memory, okay? And in the memory, we just have the bit. And the bit is only 0 and 1, 0 and 1, okay? So they cannot understand the character, okay? So we need to use some kind of mapping table to map from a value. For example, we have a regulation, we have a rule that if in this box I store the value 65, for example, that means I want to store the value A, the character A, for example. So the mapping table here is one way to convert from the numerical value in this box into the character, into the letter. Okay, so when you use a character, you have to know about the mapping table, this mapping table. And they have two kinds of mapping table. One is ANSI mapping table. In this mapping table, they just use 8 bits to represent a box. Okay, but to represent a character. But for the Unicode, you have 16 bit. Okay, that means the range of representation for Unicode is hard. Okay, it's very hard, and it can represent almost every character in every language. Okay. At the beginning, we just have the computer of American, so they just need to represent letter from A to Z with upper letter from A to Z and with the number from 0 to 9, okay, just for American. But when we apply the computer to other language, for Japanese, for example, for Vietnamese, for example, okay, for Vietnamese, for example, we have different character like this. I don't know. Okay. So this a very hard number of character we have to represent. So using the ANSI with 8 bit is not enough. So they are invented to the Unicode mapping with 16 bit to represent almost every character in every language. Okay. Phần này cô nói hơi dài ra một tí nhưng để các bạn có thêm thông tin, đúng không? Biết là thế nào là bảng mã Unicode và bảng mã ANSI. And then, so when you use the character in Java, we have two ways to assign the value to it. Firstly, you assign it directly to each letter. For example, in this sentence, in this statement, you declare a variable named A of the character type, and you assign the value of the letter A, uppercase. Okay, but the second way that you can use the digit, but in the hexadecimal system, to represent this character. Okay, that means this the value in the mapping table. Okay, you search in the mapping table. For the example, the A is 0, 0, 1, 0. For example, I just take an example. For B is 0, 0, 1, 1. For example, for C is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. For example, like this. Okay, so you will have to search in the mapping table, and you know the numeric number corresponding to this character, and you write it down here. Okay, and when you write here, you have to convert to the hexadecimal system. Hệ gì? Cơ số 16. Okay, so there's two ways to assign a value to the character in Java. It is clear for you?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. And the default value is O bit is 0. Okay. And in this example, you can see we have a variable, two different variable of the character, and we assign the value of the letter B, lowercase, and the letter 3. Okay. And what happened with the third statement? Why is not correct? For this statement, why is not correct? Who know?
Nó không có ký tự, có hai cái ghép bằng hai cái.
Yes.
Không đến 9 thôi.
Đúng rồi. Yeah. The character here is just one letter. Okay. One letter. Okay. So here you have the combination of two letters, 1 and 0. Okay. So you cannot set it like a character. It will become sequence of character. Okay. And for sequence of character, we call it a string. Yes, correctly, a string. And to represent a string, you have to use double quote, not a single quote. Okay, so remember, when you present character or letter, you have used single quote. But when you represent a string, I want this a string, you have to use double quote. Okay, this is the difference, and be careful when you use the quote here. If you write something like this, it will be wrong, and it will get to you the error. Okay, remember? Okay, this for character, and this for string. Phân biệt nhé. So what happens if I write something like this? What do I have here? If I write like this, what do I have here? Nếu mà tôi viết một ở trong cái dấu ngoặc kép thì là tôi có cái gì nào?
Có string ạ.
Okay. And how they make the distinguish between this one and this one? Who know? How the computer can distinguish between them? Ai biết vì sao nhỉ? Làm nào máy tính nó phân biệt được hai cái một này?
Cô là địa chỉ với size khác nhau ạ.
Size nó khác nhau ở chỗ nào?
Một cái trà thì là có 2 bài, con string là chiếm nhiều bài hơn.
Làm nào biết là chiếm nhiều bài hơn? Ở đây có mỗi một ký tự mà.
Là kiểu dữ liệu khác nhau ạ.
Kiểu dữ liệu khác nhau thì là nó sẽ thể hiện là nó sẽ phải có có quy tắc khác nhau đúng không? Nhưng mà các em thử xem nhé. Nếu bình thường, đúng không? Tôi lưu trữ, we want to store a character number 1. I will use 2 by. Okay, 2 by to store number 1. Okay, I have a string. And in this string, I have only 1 also. I just need 2 by also. The difference here is when you use a string, what will happen in the memory? It will have to use a symbol at the how to say the string indicator. Yeah, and in this case we can see it's the end of string character. Okay, that means if maybe you declare a variable of the string and you assign it to 1 like this, that means in the memory it will store for you the number 1 and it store also the end of string character. Yeah, that means you will have some very special character. Okay, later you will know the end of string character, for example. So for every string, after the last character, the system will insert the end of string character. So for example, you know this A and for example this B, you know this B and this A. When you assign to B, it knows that B is a character, so it's fixed 2 by to you. Okay, so it can get the value of B is 1. But if you assign A at string, for string it don't know exactly the size of A. It knows that string is a sequence of characters, so it don't know how many characters in this string. So the computer have to use end of string as an indicator that this is the end. So the computer will go to A, to the first bit of A, and it will go until it reach the end of by indicator and it stop. So this is why you can allocate a string in the memory. Okay, it can part Vietnam like this. And every string will end with the end of string character. Okay, and it can have the computer to decide the end of the string, because when you declare a string, you cannot know at the beginning what is the size of exactly string. Okay, so this is just a small remark for you. Okay, for some students who want to know much more about string and what is the difference between string and character. Okay, okay, các bạn có hiểu cô giải thích không?
Cái string có cái ký tự rỗng ở cuối cùng, phải không cô?
Không phải ký tự rỗng mà là ký tự kết thúc cái string đấy nhé. Nó là cái cách để đánh dấu xem là khi nào thì tôi kết thúc cái chuỗi đấy. Vì khi các bạn khai báo một chuỗi thì các bạn không biết được là cái độ dài chuỗi nó là bao nhiêu. Đấy, cho nên là phải dùng một cái compiler của mình ấy, khi mà nó dịch cái string đấy, nó sẽ nhét thêm một cái ký tự kết thúc string vào và tương ứng là trong memory của mình, đúng không? Sau cái ký tự cuối cùng này thì sẽ có một cái ký tự end of string. Đấy, thì về sau khi tôi truy cập vào cái string A này, thì nó sẽ đi từ cái ký tự đầu tiên đến ký tự cuối cùng. và nó gặp cái end of string thì nó biết là hết sâu rồi đấy, thì nó dừng lại ở đây nhé. Thì đấy là cách để nó xác định được cái kích thước của cái gì, của cái box mà tôi dùng để lưu trữ cái string đấy. Ok. Ví dụ các bạn định nghĩa kiểu byte, kiểu int, kiểu float thì các bạn biết rõ kích thước của các cái kiểu đấy rồi. Đấy, thì là trình dịch chỉ cần B hả, B là kiểu character hả, nghĩa là chỉ lấy ra 2 byte thì nó allocate được cái box đấy. Nhưng với string thì là mình không biết là cái kích thước bao nhiêu cái ô, bao nhiêu ký tự trong cái string đấy, thì compiler nó phải dùng một cái thủ thuật như vậy, dùng một cái symbol để đánh dấu kết thúc cái string. Chính vì thế mà sau này khi mà mình truy xuất trở lại cái A này thì mình cứ duyệt thôi, duyệt cho đến khi nào gặp cái ký tự kết thúc string thì compiler sẽ lấy cái chỗ đấy ra. Đấy chính là cái kích thước của cái box dành cho A. Ok.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So please remember, for character we use a single quote, and for string you use a double quote. And the difference is what I explained. Okay, the end of string. Okay, something here, but in the memory, but not in the common. Okay. So we go to the next type of Java is a logical value. That means I just want to store true or false value. Okay, it's different from C that you can use 0 or 1. No, it's just true and false. Okay, and so they say that you cannot use an integer value in the place of the Boolean value. That means you cannot assign 0 and 1 here, for example. No, you cannot. Okay, in C is okay, but in Java, no. Okay, and the initialize value for logical value is 4. Okay, and we use the term Boolean to indicate a logical value. For example, in this one, you declare a variable name fact of the Boolean type, and you assign the value true to fact. Okay, and the same here, you have the variable condition of the type Boolean, and you assign the value 4 to the condition. Okay, so we pass to the for type of the basic of the primitively of the primitive data type. Okay, and remember, for each kind here you will have the different type of representation. That means you have the different size of the box. Okay, so now you we will go deeply in the string data type. Okay, string data type is not considered as the primitive type because it's you can divide the string into character. Okay, so it's bigger than the character. So the string is used to store a string of character, okay, or a sequence of character. For example, here you have the example of string. Java is fun, hello, for example, or even a sequence of number is considered as a string. Okay, and here you have the character. Okay, different character. Okay, and how you can declare and use the variable of the type string. This is the way. For example, you will use the term string to declare the type string. In this example, you have a variable named driver of the string type, and you assign the first value for driver. Okay, and Of course, here you have to use double quote to indicate a string. Okay. And after these two command, you have create a box in the memory. The name of the box is driver, and the box is used to store a string. Okay, but they don't know the size of the box at the beginning. Okay. For example, for other declaration, after this statement, you can know the size of the box, but for string, you don't know it. Okay, you just know that, okay, I have to allocate a box to store a string, but I don't know how many bytes I have to reserve. Okay, and after assign the value to the box, I know how many bytes I use to store this this value. Okay, is this okay? I think it's okay for you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And now, how can you use the string? Okay. Of course, you can assign value to the string, assign a new value to string, and you can have some other operator with the string. For example, you can get the length of the string. For example, here is the number of characters in this string with this method. Okay. Later, you will know string is considered as an object in Java. Okay. But now I just introduce to you some method to work with string, because maybe you have to use this in your exercise. So I present it to you firstly. Okay, and later you will learn about object, and you will know that string is a class in Java. Okay. Okay. So firstly, if you have a variable, the type string, you can use a point length and a parenthesis to get the number of character in the string. Okay, for example, here you have Hamid. So the number of character is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will print to you 6 here. Okay. For example, you can uppercase every letter in the string with the method to uppercase. Okay. And remember the parenthesis here. It's always have the parenthesis. And it ends with a semicolon. Okay. And after you uppercase every letter in driver, you assign it again to the driver. And so when you print the driver, it will print to you all letter in the uppercase. Okay. This is the first two method to use with string. Later you can add to string. Okay. So someone can read for me this code and explain for me the output of the code. What do you have in this code?
Miss Blake.
Okay, I said that you explain to me. It's common, okay? And you explain why is print out Hamid Blake. First common, what do you have?
Declare a variable named driver first name.
And
then at the line 2, we
no. The line 1 is not finished. Declare
in a type string.
Yes, correctly. Declare, okay, a variable name I go slowly, so I hope everyone can understand. Of the type. Okay, please remember, you have to read the common word by word to understand every word in the common. Okay, this one is declare some variable of the type, for example, and in the second common they
Initialize
mm-hmm.
the variable.
Mm-hmm.
Assign the value Hamish.
Okay, the second one is assign the value. Okay, Hamid to driver first name. And the third one
Is similar to the first one.
mm-hmm. That means you declare a variable of the type string. Okay. Yes. And in the fourth one, again, you assign the value to it. Okay. And you can imagine for each common in the memory, you will have something happen. Okay. For the first one, declare a variable of the type. That means it will allocate a box. Okay. And this box name, what is the name of this box? Driver first name. Okay. And this after the first common. Okay. And then in the second common, it will put the string Hamid. Okay, in this box. Okay. The third one we allocate to use a box name, driver last name. Okay. And after the fourth, it will get to you black. Okay. And then in the 5 common, what happened? Okay, can you continue?
The program declare a variable name of driver full name.
Yeah, correctly. Firstly, is declare a variable name, driver full name. Okay. Of
Type string.
Yes, of the type string. And then
assign value driver first name plus driver last name to the last value that variable.
Yes, correctly. Okay, you see in this, they do 4 things. Okay, firstly, declaration. Secondly is get the current value of first name, last name. Okay, it's take an addition. Okay, and then it's assign back to full name. Okay, you see four steps in just one command. So please read a command carefully and you understand word by word in this command. Okay, so you say that the driver full name will be
Miss Blake.
Okay, I write down something like this. Miss Blake. Do I have a space here?
I think no.
Yeah, correctly. Because space is also a character. Okay, remember a space, a blank space is also a character. Okay, so if you don't see it in the string, please don't add it. Okay, so we will have the result is Hamid Blake without space. Okay, so we go to the next example, and who can guess for me the output of the program? Okay, you can do it step by step, slowly. Okay, what will happen after each comment? Okay. Okay. Okay, who can try? Who can try? And I think that every student you should change your logo cái ảnh nền của cái account của các bạn trong team ấy. You should change it because I heard that from the university when you take part in the examination online, we will have to check to check your face, and it is easier to change your logo to your identifier image. Okay, I see someone very cute here, Lê Quỳnh Lan, with a very cute logo.
Teacher.
Yeah. So can you explain to me the comment?
Yes. Number one is variable name stuff.
Yes.
Data type in a day.
Yeah.
Number two is similar to.
Hey, stop. Okay. Firstly, you declare a stop. Okay. A stop variable of the type int. How many bytes you have for this stop? Can you remember?
4.
Yes, correctly. Yeah. That means after the first statement, we allocate a box of the 4 byte. Okay, 4 stop. Okay, correctly. In the second line.
Second line is similar to number one.
That means you declare
variable name fare.
Yeah, of the type int. Okay. In the third one.
Third one is
We assign, for example.
Assign variable stuff to 0 value by 0.
Okay, so we assign 0 to stop. Okay. And the same.
The same number 4 is same to number 3.
Yeah, we assign 0 to fare. Okay. And
yes. And then number 5. Oh, number 5 is where stop. First, we get current value of variable stop.
Yes.
And then we add variable stop for more ones. So and last we
we assign again.
To stop.
Yes. So now the value of stop will be
increase increment one's value.
That mean the current now the value of stop is how many?
Ones.
Yes, that means it get the current is 0. It's plus is with 1. That means 1, and then it assign again. So now the value is 1. Okay.
Yes.
So that means this box is have the value 1. Okay. And the same for 6.
Yes. And this number 6 is similar to number 5, and we have a current value fair is 5.
Yeah, now the value for fair is 5. And then in the 7?
In the 7, number 7 is totalize to number 5. We have a value stop is true.
Yeah, the value of stop will be true.
Okay, and number 8. Number 8 fair similar to number 6, and we have a value current fair is 8.
Yes, okay. We increase 2 3. Okay, it will come to 8. And then in the 9, the stop will be?
The stop will be number 3.
3. And the fair will be?
The fair will be 50.
15.
15.
Okay, 15. Okay, and then you make for me the output of the common 11. What will be print?
Print first phrase is the print out the output is the birth make 50 and 15 after trees stop.
Yes. Okay. You lost this. The bus mates dollar. Okay. 15. Okay. And be careful with the space. Here you have a space. Okay. Here you have a space, and here you have a space also. Okay. So be careful with the result. You will see it will print the bus mate dollar, and after dollar you don't have space. $15. Okay. After 3 stop. Okay. This is the output. Thank you, Quỳnh Lan. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, thank you. So you see, and you have to pay attention about the space again. Okay, to make your output is beautiful. Okay, if you don't have space here, for example, you will output something like 15 after and 3 stop. It's all connected, concatenated. Okay, so be careful with the space. So you can make something beautiful like this. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm very happy because your class is really active. I ask question and you interact with me very good. Okay. Very well. Okay. So we go to the next. So I hope that you understand about this. It's clear. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So now we just have some minutes to talk about this. This is the literal. Is how to say the literal in Vietnamese? We say that is a name very. It's not easy to remember nguyên dạng. Yeah, but I suggest you to understand literal is how you represent a value. How you represent a value. Okay. For example, you have to represent an integer, a floating point value, a Boolean value, a character or string. That means, for example, you have to represent the value 7. For this integer, you have to represent a floating point of the value 7.0. For example, how you represent it? This this the guide for you to represent the value. Okay. Firstly, for integer value, how you represent it. Firstly, you can use the decimal system, tức là mình vẫn dùng hệ 10 bình thường, đúng không? Viết một cách bình thường. Secondly, you can use the octa system with 0 at the beginning. Okay, đây là hệ gì? Hệ cơ số mấy? Octa là 8. Yes. Okay. You can use the hexadecimal also with 0 h at the beginning. Hệ 16. Okay. And remember, when you represent a value for long type, you have to end it with the letter L. This a little annoyed us because it's not easy. It's not easy to remember, but this the regulation of Java. Okay, that means you can represent the short, the by, the ent, no problem. You represent it like this. But when you want to represent a long value, you have to add L at the end. Okay, L like this or L like this, uppercase or lowercase. Okay. Okay, so this the first remark when you represent a long value. Okay, and this one is said to you that for hexadecimal you can use both uppercase and lowercase, no problem. This just in hexadecimal system. Okay, for the floating point. Okay, how you represent the floating point. If this floating point is of the type float, you have to end it with F or F like this. And if it of the kind double, you have to end it with D or D. Okay, or the default is double, so you can ignore the D for the double value. Okay, or like this. For the exponent expression, you use E to explain it. Okay, and the default, when you don't do the letter at the end of the floating point, it will be the double type. Okay, so if you write down like this, the system will understand that it is the double type. Okay, but if you write down F, it will know that it is the float type. A little complicated for this. Okay, D or without D, it understands that D. But for the float, it's the only way is you have to add F at the end. Okay, for the Boolean, you have true and false, you know it. For the character literal, you know that we use the single quote already, or we use the number or the numeric value in the mapping table. For string, you use the double quote. Okay, you already know about it. Okay, and we talk about the control key in Java. This some literal or some expression of the control key when you want to use in your program. For example, you want to represent the backspace button in your keyboard. For example, you will use it at the backslash and B. And this is a character, so you use the single quote to represent it. For example, the form fit or the new line or the return or the tab, you have the corresponding control key. Okay, and there are some special character in the string. For example, you know that we use double quote to represent a string. And for example, I have a string hello world. And now I want to have the single quote in this string. How can I do? If I just write down like this, hello and double quote and world and double quote, what will happen when the compiler run? It will met the first double quote, so it consider that okay, here is the start of the string, so it will go hello, and then it reach the second double quote, so it end the string here, it stop. So the rest will take you to the error. I don't know what is the end of the statement. Okay, so to prevent this happening, you have to use this special character to represent the double quote. That means now you will write something like this. Okay. Okay, print out, for example. So when the compiler runs, it know, okay, this is the start of the string, hello. And then it reach the backslash. Okay, this is a very special character. So I will use this like the special character, and this character is the double quote. Okay, and it will go to the end of the string as you want. Okay, so you can ignore the common UH of a character by using the backslash. Sorry. Okay, and the same for apostrophe and the same for the backslash. Okay. Okay, I think today we will stop here, and the next week we will go to the section about the data type conversion. This is a little difficult, so if you have time, please read it before the lesson. Okay. Okay. Do you have any question for all the lesson today? Is this clear for you? No. Okay. So thank you, and see you next week. Okay.
Goodbye,
Yes.
teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay.
Goodbye.
See you next week. Okay. Thank you.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye everyone. Chào các bạn nhé.